What do Alex Hormozi and Bella Baxter have in common? They don't give a damn.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
You have to learn how to become human. Then you have to learn how to become yourself. I love this quote from Alex Hormozi. I started consuming his content regularly just over a year ago, and I can say without a doubt that he has changed my life. He appears to be genuinely himself. He does not care about how he is being perceived for what he says or how he chooses to express his viewpoint of the world. I love this quote because it also reminded me of how I felt when I watched the movie Poor Things, which brings us to our second muse, Bella Baxter.
Cheese to meet you.
This movie shows the experience when you're trying to figure out how to be a human. Then, once you've learned the societal norms or expectations, feel the deep desire to break them because why not? This is what it feels like to come online or to become aware. You go from learning how much of a bag of apples costs to
How do you like them apples?
Hormozi's content and this movie can be two sources of inspiration for challenging your beliefs or even removing some mental blocks you may be holding on to and you don't necessarily know why. First, we have the successful entrepreneur teaching his journey for free to those that most want to grow and change past their given circumstances. And then you have Poor Things, the filmmakers, the storytellers, the performers that are the biggest risk takers and want to expose the funnier, more complex things about life. Like how we tell children what is what. Then ultimately, as they get older, they must forget or leave behind everything they think they know and figure out instead who they choose to be in the world. There comes a turning point, though, in everyone's life where it feels like there is a glass wall being pressed in front of you, blocking your path. The way across on the other side of it is your ideal self. You can see it where you are living out your dreams. You can't get through to her or him, though. This glass wall is prohibiting your growth, development, or so you've told yourself. So you begin to bang and bang, but you can't get through. The wall will not budge. That's when, as once again Hormozi puts it, you have to be in enough pain to make a change. You realize that you have always had what it takes inside of you. Your subconscious put the glass in front of you to keep you safe from the obstacles that come with that ideal projection ahead. Instead of forcing it away through the pain, you just accept where you are at currently and the glass falls to the ground. You learned you have to recognize where your parental figure's beliefs end and yours begin. It's startling, often even annoying, to recognize that you just memorized their patterns, their behavior, their mannerisms. Your younger developing brain decided to cling to it, call it truth when you became desperate to define things in this world for yourself. But who are you without these belief systems? Aren't they what has shaped you? Aren't they what has propelled you forward? Well, that's the second act. That's when you become Bella, trying to figure out who she is and not what her maker created her to be. That's when Hormozi did the work that was required, as he puts it, to become the entrepreneurial thought leader that he is today. Your real gifts will be your own. Your patterns can change. We're just so scared to let go sometimes. But what's comforting to know is that the more you do it, the closer you come to actually exceeding your own expectations. Either way, you will have your own type of lens with which you view this world. You can focus on the suffering, the injustice, the heartbreak, and go through life feeling like a victim. Or you can choose to view it like a curious adventure towards your true self. As you hit those hindering moments, it can be startling to realize your hesitation or apprehension. But with a little bit of courage and taking imperfect actions, you can begin to remove these blocks. You come to learn that these blocks were holding you back from showing up as the most honest version of who you really are and no one else. The craziest thing I've learned in the last few years, you can be brave and just decide, today I have now changed. You don't need to ask anyone, you can just decide it for yourself. Whatever ideals you may have pictured for your future self, you can just journal them down today. into your subconscious, you can imprint them by putting them in the present tense. You must keep watch, though, with your language and how you phrase things. I can't stress this enough. I have found this both challenging and exciting because I have been someone that has chosen previously to project my consciousness into the future, making up doom and gloom scenarios that cause my anxiety to surge out of control. To whoever is listening to this, keep hope. Because if you're a compelling storyteller, you can just train your brain to walk on the non-dark side of the moon instead. Practice writing out a new narrative for yourself, one that is true to you, that provides wonder and the curiosity to keep going. Then on those really challenging days where you don't feel like you can even find a single thing to be grateful for, just be like Bella Baxter.
And your sad face makes me discover angry feelings for you.
Or Alex Hormozi and speak frankly. Be honest.
Just takes work, shitloads and shitloads of work. And every time I dress it up or cut a corner, I get brutally reminded by life that the work just needs doing.
You too can become someone who is unapologetically themselves. The more honest you become with yourself, the more authentic you express your worldview to others. You learn to say, I will find a way. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.